is the tuk-tuk you wanted to replicate from Stray, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the areas that you felt the most difficult to do are the basically rounded areas like these ones here, yes? So these parts.
Yeah.
Okay, and things like these headlights, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so the first things first, when we're coming to encounter something like this, our first instinct is, because we see this as an homogeneous piece that has been welded together, we tend to think of this as something that perhaps we could do as a single piece that has been all meshed in together as a single mesh. Most of the time, this can be counterproductive. And if I just come here and if I look closely, I'm 90% sure that a lot of this, for example, the glass, the rubber, and then the top, they are all separate meshes that will actually end in places like this. These are the borders.
Yeah.
Like this. So what happens is that people, they just, instead of doing everything as a single mesh, they will most likely make a dual-sided mesh. For example, this one here, this would be something like this here would be its own piece that would cross here as well. It would probably cross here very much so. And see, it would be cut here. It would most definitely not include the headlights, because the headlights, they even have another material. So this could be a whole solid piece with a hole here. See, so this is how they normally go about. For example, other areas that you could potentially do the same would be here, but I don't think they've done, because they have some welding. They show, it shows that it's welded. But for example, here, this is definitely just one piece. And if you start producing things separately, it will be much quicker. You can actually adjust the size and the scales afterwards. And then to do UV layouts, it's much, much simpler. So when you encounter something like this, your first stage is to pick up this photo and pick up a pen and a paper, or even a screenshot, and simply divide this into the shapes that would be done individually. And then just depending on the techniques you want to use, you could just make the whole thing, and then cut them out, or just produce them individually. So I think we're going to right now. I think for our purposes, I think a piece like this headlight should be a very good starting point, because it has a nice cut like this. And then it has this, so this one itself, it's actually a very simple piece, because it is something like this on the side, see? And on the front is essentially a rounded shape.
I think what I did for that is I had like a cylinder which I stretched out. And then I think I'm losing all the terminology now. Like the edges, I kind of pushed them forward at the top to kind of create like an overhang, but it still wasn't rounded. I think I did have to bevel as well.
That is actually a pretty good solution, but I'm going to try to show you a way that might be a little bit more interactive, because the problem is that if you start off with a cylinder, you will have to in order to do this kind of curve, a cylinder, depending on you are already going to be sort of set in the amount of loops that you'll have on top and on the bottom, which should be fine. I think something like this. I'm gonna say 32, and 32 should be enough. I think you did a good job here. So maybe instead of doing this headlight, I think I'm going to pick something else. So because I think it's a very good technique. So I think something like this. I'm just going to, for consistency's sake and not to take too much time, I think I'm just going to do something like this piece and how to go about it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because then we have a nice, then this part here could be done with a Boolean perhaps. Are you familiar with Booleans?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look. So let's say that you've done this. The second place is just coming here, and I think I'm going here to the front. And if I come here, you probably already know this. We come here to image plane, import image. And on the desktop, I think I already did something that should be, sorry for so many screenshots. Here we go. Oh, I got the wrong one. Okay, I got the right one. So let's just, okay, so this is the first one. And because I am so very, so very pedantic, let me just come here to people. I don't want this. Examples. Where did I have the, oh my God, sorry, I'm just getting modeling.
Okay.
People. Source images. No, I don't want this. Why is it taking so long? I'm sorry about this. Okay, don't tell me that you crashed. You crashed, didn't you?
No.
Okay, it crashed. Anyway, there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, so I'm just going to come here and do this, and then if I come here to channel box, height 200 centimeters, so this is roughly 2 meters. Actually, I'm going to put 183, which is exactly 6 foot. So if you want to know how a 6 foot human tall is like, it's about this 183. Normally people put 200, so this will give me an idea of what I should be going for. And the image plane doesn't seem I can get it dynamically, so yeah, it should be probably a bit smaller because this is probably an Asian thing, so those guys are more like, let's say that the person that I want is 160 centimeters. So I'm going to put 175. It's not that much smaller, and the guy would probably be sitting, so something like about, yeah, I think let's say that this would be a reasonable size. And I'm going to just push this out a bit. I'm going here to my attribute editor. To my channel box. Let me just shrink this a bit. You already know my likeness and affinity for put everything into layers. So I'm just going to add selection, reference, so I cannot select it. So what we can do is we're going to use a technique that is going to be essentially we're going to use how do I call these subdivision surfaces. So you know what happens if I press 3, right? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, wait, why is this not working? Because it's probably Maya 2026. Give me a second. Maya 2026 subdivision filter not working. The issue might stem from a few potential, including correct filter settings and supported. No, this is to mark keyframes. Yeah, this is to mark keyframes. So I'm just getting let me get another Maya to see if this is just a, or maybe that there's just a problem that is, let's see if, let me, in the meantime. Okay, so this doesn't work, but this does work. What happens if I just subdivide this? No, it doesn't. And what happens if I just extrude this? Okay, it needs to be extruded.
It's just because it was a plane.
Seems like it. Still, it seems like subdivision surfaces don't work very well with planes. Delete, selected. So doesn't matter. So I'm only going. First of all, you know how to work with symmetry, right?
Yes. I don't think I do it a lot, but.
So you know that essentially this tuk-tuk, this is asymmetrical, right? So there is no point on modeling both sides. All we need to do is to simplify our things the most. What I'm going to do is essentially just model this bit. Let's just say this one here. And what I can do then is just do a symmetry of this piece, and we should have two of them. So it will take me less than half of the time, and I can duplicate my amount of work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this is like so this is the second rule. So to do this piece, let me just get okay. I'm going to just double click here, press Control Delete to delete this ones, and this one here to delete it. And this one here, I think, okay, this is good enough. So I'm just going to do something like so. And I think it's extrude. No, it's shift. So we can just see by using a subdivision filter, we can actually just create things that are far more.
Is that how did you get the subdivision filter? I'm sorry.
One, it's 0 subdivisions.
Oh.
2,
okay.
You have a subdivision filter with that shows the proxies, like so. And 3, it will hide the proxies. The best one for you to work is potentially this one because you still have the shell.
Yeah.
And there is also another quirk, which is, this is very simple, but very interesting. So you have, I think, I have the button actually here. See this button here? Select polygon surface, which has the preview enabled. So if I press this, it will just create everything into a single polygon. I think we can find it in display, modify, convert, smooth mesh preview to polygons. So if you go to modify, convert, smooth mesh preview to polygons, you're going to get this thing. Okay, so you probably want to work, for example, between 1 and 3. So you create this mesh in 1. So I think we have this kind of like sort of roundedness. So we go a little bit like here. We press 3. We want to add another one, and we can just come here, select these ones, and we can start creating a bit of a more rounded surface. See?
Yeah.
So this would be something that could potentially, and then here we want to create this kind of we want to create this edge. Yeah, so I think Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do something. So I just could come here, and then I'm just going to come here to 1 and vertex. If I press Shift Control, at the same time, can you see that my says slide? What this will do is that this will slide within the area. So if I don't have slide, things will become, the plane will actually mush up. But if I press Shift Control, it will actually slide. But be careful, because sometimes it won't be able to slide back because of the difference of information. So if I do something like this, and then edge, Control E for extrude, vertex, W, and then I'll just try to slide it. Oops. And we get this piece 3. See how this is actually getting much much closer, and it will prevent you. So I think we want to get this a little bit more rounded here. So here, let me just go back to 2. This shape should be, let's just double click here. We press, and we get this shape. And now we let's say that this is good for now for our demonstration. And now we actually want to start tightening this up to make a single piece. Yes. So I'm just going to come back here to 1 object mode. Let's see what the first thing I'm going to do is. You're familiar with the construction history, right?
Yeah.
So you know that you can actually come here and just basically, if you come here to these divisions, you can just come here and basically mess everything up. So because you basically are stacking operations, and then you can come back in history and transform these operations. This can be really powerful. But the problem is that this stack of operations can also corrupt the file. So if you don't have interest in doing this, all you have to do, let me just come here to, what is the one that you guys, I normally use my own custom, and it's so old that some of the icons are actually, here we go, polymodeling, you have these 3. So you just delete and freeze transformations. And another thing that we also notice, and this is something that I noticed that you have a lot, is, do you see how there is a clear cut here and here where I added the edge loops?
Yeah.
So this is because the UVs here are hardened. In order to get rid of this, we just select, and we come here. I believe it's here we go, mesh display.
Oh yeah.
And you just come here to soften edge. And as you can see, it's disappeared. So with very little geometry, you're able to do something else. Then if you come here, edge, you press G for repeat last action. You can have this. If this is something you're going to use a lot, I recommend you to come here. You already know the thing is just coming here. Shift Control harden edge, Shift Control soften edge. You also have a toggle button. And you have lock and unlock normals that sometimes unlock if you lose control over your normals and they start becoming really weird. Unlocking them can actually help out. So I just come here and then do this. I think I could actually easily just add another one here. Let's use a smooth mesh preview. Sorry, and.
Okay.
Something like so. Okay, so let's press 1 again, and let's say that this is good for now. I'm going to press C for extrude. I can actually I think I'm going to do it this way. I normally like face centers, and I think I already explained why I enjoy having face centers on, right?
Yeah.
So and now if we put the smooth mesh preview, this looks horrible, right? It looks really bad. So this is the first thing I'm going to teach you right now. If I start pressing the button page up, it actually starts creating more and more subdivisions and less. You know in ZBrush how you can actually up and lower the amount of subdivisions.
Mm-hmm.
It works very similarly here. If you come here and you look at the vertexes, look what happens when I press page up. They just start doubling up. So you can make things sharper by using this. Right now I'm on subdivision 0. That's why I have, even with smooth mesh preview, everything looks blocky. Let me just press twice. So we have this here. So now we have two ways to fix this. One, it's with the crease tool. Let's see if I remember where the crease tool is. Mesh, combine, smooth, triangulate, mirror, cleanup. So it's not this one, edit mesh. If you actually find something called, here we go, crease tool. This one here. If I just click on crease tool, nothing happens. But now if I press and hold middle mouse button, see what's happening?
Yeah.
It's creating creases. This is optimal if you're creating a high resolution model. So you can just come here and use the crease tool. Yeah. And you can just come here and without adding any geometry so far, oops, you can just have this as a smooth mesh preview. So you can actually still work and see, and by just having something like this that is so small, you can very easily just modify it. You can just, by pressing 3, have a better preview, and when you're done, you can come here to modify, convert subdivision to polygon. Modify, convert smooth mesh preview to polygons. Obviously, we're not going to do it this way. There are still other things I want to show you, but see how this actually just creates a much larger, a much better subdivision mesh. So, and you have the advantages of having the mesh in a much higher resolution. So, but only by using lower resolution materials. So this, now you can still see, you can still edit things without much hassle. If you were working on a very high mesh, you were going to have problems with it, but not this way. So let's just say that this is good for now. And yes, let's say that, for example, let me just come here to this, to modify, convert, because I don't want to be pressing this every single time I need it. I'm going to come here to smooth preview mesh, press Control click, and now I have it here, so I don't have to press these buttons. If I want a better mesh, I can just come here, press it once, and press, and now see, I have a more game-ready sort of mesh, but it has no bevels. We can actually include them later. So this is also, let me just come here to the crease, mesh display, crease tool, and I'm going to just come here and so this is one way to do using the crease tool, yeah? But there is another way of doing these things. So if I just come here, and you don't want to use the crease tool for whatever reason, there are other ways that you can also use. I find the crease tool very useful for initial blockouts because it's very non-destructive. It will preserve the poly, and this will allow you to edit. So now I just press the crease tool again. I press and hold the middle mouse button, and now we have this again. Yeah. So now if I press 3, and then page up, we get all this mushiness. Another way would be doing bevels, the way that you're used to, right? So 1, 2, and now you'd have to create these bevels here, and it's a pain in the ass, right? Pardon my language. But there is another way for you to create bevels, which is, let's select exactly the same ones that we would select with the crease tool. So let's see this one's here. Yep. And this one. Did I forget something? No, I didn't. So now if I press Control B, I just get the regular bevel, right? But if I put chamfer off, look what happens. It just does our creases for us. So if I come here now and come here to object mode, press 3, page up, I can come here to poly bevel. Actually, let me come here on the attribute editor, go to the latest poly bevel, poly crease, poly bevel, here we go. So I go to the attribute editor, and now I can interactively just create my own bevels. So you get this extra control as well. Oh, I forgot to put them here. Oh no, I didn't. And now you have. Oh wow, I made a little mistake.
Hey, this is the thing with bevels. It always like attaches something that I don't see.
Exactly, and this is why. And I noticed, especially here on the tuk-tuk, if you here, this is why I incentivize you to do as few amounts of connecting edges as possible. So I'm going to actually, let me just finish this one out, and then I'm going to go for the next one, okay? So I can show you that a little bit better. Okay. So if you come here, you can just have this one here with the bevels. Okay, let's consider this fine-tuned enough. What happens if I press 3? 1. I don't know what. Oh wait, vertex. Well, let's just. Here we go. Let's just press Control D. Edge. Let's go back to. Actually, let's go back to how do you call it? To creases. To. I think this is why I prefer bevels are good, but I think creases also have something to be told, because you can actually work without beveling and use a nice good bevel preview, and then decide where you want to have your bevels. So just press page up, and then you can just come here and test the bevels out like so. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So now when you have this, you can actually just come here, and then you can just select this ones, and you already know what you have to bevel, and the lines are already outlined for you. So this should, in principle, make your life a whole lot easier when you want to create something like vehicles, because now you have this kind of part, and now what you want to do, for example, object mode, face, 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, I'm going to consider this one. I'm going to put here, press W, press D, press and hold the X button, and then align this to the grid. And now I also have here this tool called mirror.
It's a mirror. Okay, yeah.
Are you familiar with the mirror tool?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. So just press mirror. Boom. The tuk-tuk piece is done. But there is, but let's say that now that you do it like this, you're not really happy with this. There is another way of doing this that is also pretty sneaky. Are you familiar with instancing?
No, I don't think I've used it. I think I've heard of it, but
okay.
I haven't tried it.
All right, so file, if we come here, file, and we go here. I think it's edit, duplicate. We come here to duplicate special, and then we come here to the option box. And now the geometry type, let me just reset settings. So this is the default that you should have. Instead of geometry type copy, it's an instance. Instance means that the memory is shared. And this will make a little bit more sense in a minute. Group under parent world new group. I'm going to leave this as default. And now here scale X, Y, Z. I want a mirror on the X. So I'm just going to put here -1, apply. And okay, so what's so special about this? What's so special about this is that now, see?
Oh.
Anything I do can actually, the instance is mirrored. So we can actually, without you having to select everything, you can just work on one side and having it the other one duplicated. And then when we're done, you can get rid of this piece by either merging it with this one and then delete history, or just deleting it and using the mirror tool.
Okay.
And now here, booleans. I think I shouldn't, but you know what? Why not? I would probably do this whole with a boolean. Come here. Let's just go here front. Like do something like this. Shift X. So I can create something like this. Yep. And now the way I would do this would be face. Now I'm going to shift select and I'm going to put, I believe it's extract faces. Yep. Object mode. I'm going to just come here and now I'm going to merge them again. I'm going to come here to this one, bridge, press G, and then come here, and then I'll just use the close holes tool, which should be booleans cleanup. Oh, I need to go to edge. So fill hole, and on the other one, W, press G, so it will fill all the holes. It's not great. This one here, I'm not happy. Right. Oh, see, the geometry here is breaking.
Oh.
There is a way to fix this, which is I just double click, and then I'm going to press R for scale. And then I'm going to, since this is the X plane, I want to fix it. I'll just press X again. So they're all plane. I press W, press and hold X, and it just snaps in place. So right now, I'm going just to press Control S because I don't know. This seems to be the kind of stuff that would crash. So I never know if this is going to crash. Like if I was going to attempt this on Maya 2004, it was going to crash for sure because Maya was super unstable with booleans. Right now, I'm not so sure.
Okay. So
don't crash. So what I'm going to do here is select this one, mesh, booleans. We selected the first mesh is the A, the second one is the B. Just going to do this. I knew something was going to go wrong. Doesn't matter. So now, by using booleans, we don't really have to worry too much about the shape, see? We can just come here and we can just even, oops, I think R relative. No, this is WE. Here we go. Discrete rotate. Let me just take it out. See? We can actually just even create a more interactive cut that just seems. And now you can. And now when you're done with this, you can just duplicate this one and leave this one here. You can even just group all of these ones here. You call this group history. Press H to hide the visibility. So now if you decide that this is not good enough, you can go back to that one and just fix it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not going to create like any n-gons doing
Oh,
siblings or anything.
it will create n-gons, lots of them actually.
Oh, it will. Okay.
It will. So 1, 2, 3. So now we have here, and this is, you can come here to face, and then we have several ways to solve this. So mesh tools, mesh display, there's several of them. Let's see. Here we go. Let me just press this dotted line and get this. We have several ways to do this. If you come here and you press triangulate, just creates, and then quadrangulate, you get a really nice triangulate, quadrangulate. And actually, let me just select these two and just triangulate, quadrangulate. And honestly, this is a really good solution. I'm not used for Maya to be so good. What I normally do when I get something like if something like this doesn't happen, let me just put here triangulate, quadrangulate, which this is normally how you want to store triangles. What you can also do, if this doesn't work, is you use the poke tool, which is, here we go, poke. You come here to poke, and this will just poke all the triangles in the center. You come here to vertex, and by pressing Shift, right mouse click, merge vertices, target weld tool, you get exactly the same thing, but this way you know for sure it will happen. Now here, edge, we just need to come here, and then I'm just going to put bridge, come here, G, bridge, now here, G, fill hole, face, and now I come here to this face, and now I can actually select it, and now I'll do exactly the same, triangulate, quadrangulate, see how it fixed?
Okay. Yeah.
And then here, same deal, so here, edge, fill hole, boom. So now, do you see this green triangle? This green circle?
Really, that's because there's no material, right?
Exactly. So we just go here, assign existing material, standard surface, and it's fixed.
Nice.
Now, if you press 3, this whole place got all wiggly, right? So
okay, is it because there's not a crease on it?
Exactly. There's no crease on it. Also, let me just get rid of these two. So we can just come here, 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 and here. Crease. Boom. Object O. And edge. G. Crease. So now, see how much easier it is. And now let me just do a page up. See how easier it is to create some. Now we have some problems here. Let me just see. This is too many triangles. So let's see if I can just. Oh yeah, because this was I used that only triangulate. So let's just do this and then come here, face, triangulate, quadrangulate, object mode 3. And the crease is much nicer now.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Okay, there is still something here that probably could have been done better, but I'll leave that for later. This is like something that then you have to just figure out in your own, iron out the details. So right now, as you can see, we're getting very close to have a good piece. So if I come here to File, Edit, Duplicate Special should have actually remembered my last settings, so if I press, now I just need to, we can just transform this one. So to transform, now let's just eliminate one and just try to transform them. You probably have to choose another solution here, probably something in the ends of probably avoid having this one here, maybe Yeah, probably. Well, I'm not going to worry this about now. You can just use you can just search for topology. And this is actually getting really long. I don't want to take too much of your time. Oh,
That's okay.
So, crease. So,
is that because of the like it's creating like pinching or something?
Exactly, it's creating pinching. So, for example, if you take these triangles, it just looks perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, let's see what happens if I just get rid of these ones. Oops. If I just get rid of these ones and object mode, I come here. Yeah, it creates a very good surface. This would be a very good high resolution to low resolution. But what you want is, you want something more in the likes of this. And this is actually not a bad solution that the computer used, actually. But I'm still very unsatisfied with this. So
yeah,
probably let's just put down. Probably what I would do is face. Let me think. Yeah, I think what I would do is I would duplicate this, and I would pick up one of these solutions. I would just page up until it's completely perfect. Let me just come here and what? Here we go. Here we go. It's 4 and 5. So let's just hide 5 for a second. This is good enough. And what I'm going to do here, are you familiar with the Make Live tool?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to come here and press Make Live. I'm just going to press this one now. And if I press Shift Control X, are you familiar? I can just come here now and just create a solution that I can just create something here on these ends to try to avoid pinching by not using any triangles. So here, see how I'm going to solve this by creating a super high resolution version and a super low. Everything will just to match as perfectly as possible. So now here, there is like no, we can just potentially, and let's say that, but let me just come here, and what I want to show you for now, poly 5, I'm going to do this, hide, and this one show. So far, let me just, because right now I'm not going to explore these solutions because it will take a while, but you can understand what you should be doing, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, we have triangles. Okay, this triangle here didn't add up. If I come here to edge, I'm pressing Control Alt, and it will, by pressing Control Alt left and right, you can actually flip them.
Okay.
So Control Alt left and right, I can flip them, and now you have another. You don't have to just rewrite everything. So right now, what we want. So now.
Oh no, sorry.
So now you also want to create this way you can actually create the higher resolution mesh and the lower in parallel. And now if we want to create the low resolution, we can just come here. Actually, let's just come here, object, we press 3. If we want a little bit more geometry, we can just come here and use this one. So this would be good enough. And now we want to bevel edges. We can just come here, and we already know where the creases are, so we don't make any mistakes. Obviously, this wasn't solved properly, but again, it's not very hard to find a solution. It's just one of those things that I'm pretty sure I am super confident you can find it. So we can just come here, and all you have to do right now is cover all the creases. So much easier to. So now this is all much easier to find because all you have to do is just look for the thick lines. Oh, almost forgot about this one. I don't even think there's a point to make a bevel here, so I'll just press Control 5. And now fraction. Can just do something like this. Also, remember, like bevels is just to create highlights, and this is the distance between what you're doing and this is the distance that you are using between your point of view and the car, or something like this. Mm-hmm. Is there a point if something gets like this to get 2 segments or 3? You can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
So the difference is that you're going to, but so something like this, it's probably just better to leave it at one single segment because mission accomplished, you have the highlight, and this is a little bit simpler, a little bit less complex to UV map. So sometimes just getting one bevel should be enough. So I think this covers how to model things organically. Is there anything else I could help you with organically?
I think it was just mainly like that. I think stuff which is hard surface but has a lot of rounded edges, I kind of was stuck on. But
yeah, so
no, this was very useful.
I believe that the using a smooth mesh preview, the crease tool should be able to allow you to do things. Then the poke. Then the other thing I want to say, for example, is this kind of situations where you have this sort of material. The best way that you can do this is it's actually probably not as you expected, but the way I would go about this would be something like so. I would just create something like this, and then I would probably get this as a magnet. Come here, one, and then R. Then press Ctrl V. If I press now Shift D, it's going to be all regular. Oh no, it's okay, plain. Okay, so let me take this off and vertex. So, and then Shift D. Okay, good enough for this. Then pick one of these ones. And pick this one up. Oops, sorry. Oops, something like this. When you have to do this kind of complex shapes, there's no point in trying to make everything in a single plane. You're better off doing something like this, and then oops, so this one here, let me just come here, face, delete this one, this face, delete this face, and here delete this face. Come here, just press Ctrl B to bevel. And if you just sink in a little bit more, I think I'm just going to delete this one. Oh, actually I did it the wrong way, so it was far less on those, so let me just delete this ones. Oh. Same thing, did I delete it? I did, so a bit like this, Control B bevel, just a little bit the fraction. So instead of trying to make every single thing, actually, I want to make this exactly, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts, so 3 cuts, yes? If I don't want to have to guess, let's see if I have, where is my custom tool? Here we go. The tool is called Split Selected Edge Ring. So should be around here. Here we go. Insert edge loop, yeah? I come here and I go to the option box and I go here, let me reset the tool. So this tool allows me to insert edge rings, nothing special about it, right? If you press Shift Control X, you have exactly the same tool. So nothing so special. But if I come here and I select the tool and I put multiple edge loops, use equal multiplier, and I press 3, I can come here and it just put this ones here into 3s. I can come here, shading, wireframe unshaded, V, and now clone, V, Shift D, 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 and now I can just come here. And this is how you would go about to create a surface like this one. Instead of trying to do everything as a single mesh, you do them as separate, because this is going to be much easier to edit, much easier to modify. I know that you would like to have, and you won't have to deal with the extra geometry here and UV map it, so your UVs would become far simpler. And if we come here, I can almost bet that, yeah, it's the way it has been made. If you can actually see. And I believe that I've seen a lot of examples where you try to make everything as a single mesh. And this just means that you put a ton of work, and you really put a ton of work, but it's just going to slow you down, and you could have a very similar result, 99% the same, with half the work you got. So this is like the little things that I was hoping to have a chance to cover on a one-to-one with you, because I believe this is the kind of stuff. Now, if you want to UV map this, it's just really easy. It's really, really easy. You can just come here and even with a single projection would be insanely uncomplicated. You could just actually, I'm going to do it this way just to show how simple this would be. You come here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Face, 1, 2. I select these ones, then I just go here to planar projection, y-axis, apply. Let me just come here, and now I'm going to put here unfold, boom. Then let's just come here and here. Here we go, align and snap, arrange and layout. Here we go, orient shells. Yeah, they're all good. Orient shells and layout. Okay. Oh, I didn't got all of them the way I want. Oh yeah, they're like this. So good enough for now. So layout. Oh, the layout tool has to be configured, but you got this ones. Now you do the same with this ones. It's this one, and I want to planar. Okay, z-axis. Apply. I can just press unfold, but I think I normally get better results, especially this one actually just shown it. Unfold along, and so UV shell. So yeah, so this one's here exactly the same. One, oops, face. 1, 2, and now I want on the x-axis apply. So here unfold along and unfold along. Yep, this one's got a little bit tighter, and now this one's on the z, apply, and then here I can just unfold them. Object mode here, same deal, x-axis, apply, unfold, object mode. I come here. Now I just need to delete history and everything, so the shell's actually sculpting, animation, rendering. No, it's polymodeling. Here we go. 1, 2, and now layout, and it's already done. So see how much simpler it is just to create a surface like this.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of.
So much easier.
Come again?
I'm just saying it's so much easier than what I did.
Okay, well, just a second.